Think those Pringles you're munching on are just thinly sliced potatoes? Think again. The mind-blowing industrial transformation behind this iconic snack will completely change how you look at your favorite snack. Think those Pringles you're munching on are just thinly sliced potatoes? Think again. The mind-blowing industrial transformation behind this iconic snack will completely change how you look at your favorite snack. Now, look at that aggressive high-pressure wash. Ever wonder where this global obsession actually started? It dates back to old trade routes, where keeping food fresh was a matter of life and death. Regular chips failed that test. They were too fragile, too greasy. The market desperately needed a fix. So engineers stepped in to completely reinvent the wheel. But simply washing and chopping? That's just scraping the surface. Notice how these raw slices look completely standard. How on earth does this setup turn them into a hyper-addictive, uniform crunch? Well, that crazy secret is coming up next. Alright, now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and this is where the plot thickens. That potato mix you saw earlier? It was ground down into a superfine powder, blended with corn flour, and is now rolled out into a flawless sheet of dough. As you watch that high-speed cutter stamp out those exact shapes, it reminds me of a fascinating engineering battle from the late 1950s. Regular chips had a massive flaw. They broke too easily, leaving consumers with a handful of crumbs. To solve this, a brilliant chemist spent years designing a very specific shape known as a hyperbolic paraboloid, a curve backed by pure mathematics. This wasn't just a snack, it was a masterclass in physics. And right here, these molds are pressing that iconic curve before it hits the frying oil. But here is the real kicker. How do they fry thousands of these a minute without a single one warping or losing its shape? Let's see how it plays out. And there they go. The finished chips are being corralled into perfect rows, dropping flawlessly into their protective tubes. You see, Pringles didn't win just because they tasted good. They won because they solved the market's biggest pain points: space and durability. By packing chips into a rigid tube instead of a bag of air, they optimized global shipping to the absolute limit. The golden rule of business here. Long-term success isn't about luck. It's about taking an everyday problem and engineering a solution so seamless that your competitors look obsolete. But wait a second. With all this automated precision, how do they seal the freshness inside these cans forever at lightning speed? Drop a comment right now if you think you know the secret, because what the machine does next is an absolute masterpiece. Boom! There it is. A blinding flash of light heat seals the aluminum foil shut, and a robotic arm slaps on the clear plastic cap with zero wasted motion. For you and me to enjoy that perfect, crisp snap on our couch took decades of continuous innovation and brilliant human grit. So have you had a can of Pringles recently? Let us know your favorite flavor in the comments below, and make sure to smash that follow and subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive into these unbelievable factory breakdowns. Stay sharp, keep munching, and we'll see you in the next one.